gotta film this video really quickly because my baby's sleeping, so I gotta film it before she wakes up. Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video. No mames. Yo soy Elena, la chinita latina. I'm going to talk about a video on how to learn Spanish. I learned Spanish and some tips on how you can learn Spanish too. I didn't want to just learn a language and just be able to say random words and have a conversation. No, I wanted to live it. I wanted to embody it. I wanted to be a part of it. So that really helped me a lot and how I could learn the language and speak it fluently. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I want to help you be able to learn and speak Spanish too. Because we are not no sabo kids over here. I really hate that word in relation to me because I don't feel like a no sabo kid. Of course, you can never learn a language completely. But I don't consider myself to be a no sabo kid because I'm just so involved and proud of the Latin community and the Latin American countries as well as Spain. And yeah, I can't be a no sabo kid. It just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so yo voy a hablar en español para que ustedes puedan saber y ver que realmente yo hablo español. Ok, vamos pues. Hola, yo soy Elena, la chinita latina. Gracias por venir a mi canal para ver a mi primer video de YouTube. Espero que a ustedes les gustan mis videos. Si me siguen por otras plataformas, ya saben que yo bailo huepa, me encanta la cumbia, también yo perreo. ¿Y qué más? Pues yo puedo bailar todo, merengue, bachata, un poquito de salsa. Me encanta bailar, pero ustedes ya saben. Y si no saben, so I did not grow up speaking Spanish, but I did grow up listening to it a lot. So that really helps with exposure because if your ear is trained to hear random words as well as the accent, that helps you so much for your brain to make sense of the words, even naturally or unconsciously. You've already heard it. Honey, I've tried to learn other languages and it's so difficult to do because I haven't heard the language consistently. Whereas with Spanish, I had heard it quite a lot. So, first tip, I listened to music in Spanish and I would literally just put on a reggaeton, you know, some Daddy Yankee, Osuna. Osuna, baby. Maluma, other old school reggaeton. And so that's what I did. I just listened to the music, didn't even know what they were saying. I was feeling the music and I was dancing. I was perreando before I even knew what perreando was. What I did was I just looked up the lyrics and then I looked up English translations. I would translate them on my own. It was really fun to do because I love music. So my suggestion, a little tip for you, is to listen to music, watch movies, especially movies that you've already seen a lot, so you already know the lines, everything. Watch that. So that would be music, movies, podcast, Netflix series straight from the countries, so like Spain, Colombia, and Mexico have a lot of my favorite series, telenovelas. So if you want to know more on which ones to watch, I can do another video on that or follow my other social media and I can let you know there. Just let me know in the comments what you want. So that being said, I made Spanish the default. I would watch YouTube videos in Spanish. I would watch movies in Spanish or in English with the Spanish subtitles on. So I started connecting the different words in English to Spanish words. I would put on podcasts while I was driving to school when I was in college. And what else? I was always listening to the music, singing, practicing the lyrics, lip syncing the lyrics until I got them. I totally immersed myself in it. If you like classes, go ahead, take a class. I suggest exposing yourself to language first, exposing yourself to word lists, everything, vocabulary, and then taking the class after you've already been exposed. That helps a lot because you already have some idea of the language before going through the lessons, because the thing with the class is it's a certain amount of weeks, so you're flying through material in a class that has an end date, but you may not be caught up. You may not be at that level. Excuse me. You may not be at that level yet. And I took Spanish 1. Great overview, great review. It filled in the blanks of where I was, the gaps of where I was in the language, and understanding it and how to use it. So then I took Spanish 2. That helped me learn the past tense. So basically, what I learned from the classes was I got good grammar, so good that even native speakers told me, oh, you speak better Spanish than me because your Spanish is correct. Ooh, okay, that's nice. And then I was able to read Spanish well and write Spanish well. But speaking it could not do because why? I was not speaking it with native speakers. So, my next tip for you is to speak with native speakers as much as you can. That kind of seems scary, seems like inaccessible. How do I go make friends with Latinos or Spanish speakers? I highly suggest speaking with native speakers who cannot speak English or speak very little English, because the point here is to be able to use Spanish. And if you are able to communicate with them in English, you will just default to English. Trust me. I know because I've done this for a long time. I've done this a lot. So what I did was I use HelloTalk. HelloTalk is an application where you can speak to native speakers. It's a language learning app where you can chat with other people. So always be safe, of course. If you want to know more about HelloTalk and how to navigate it, how to be confident on it, and how to use it successfully, I could do another video on that, because a lot of people go on there for a couple days, get overwhelmed, don't like it, are unsuccessful, and then they quit. No, honey, I had so many followers. I had so many people messaging me every second of the day. It was so overwhelming, and I made genuine friends who I literally went to Mexico to visit, and I met them in person, and I had such a good experience. So make sure you check HelloTalk out if you are a serious learner of languages and of Spanish. A serious Spanish learner. See, I'm speaking in Spanish, using the grammatical sentences in Spanish and English now because I'm bilingual. And so now my English is all confused, even though that's my first language. So that would be the next thing. Another tip, of course, in how I learned Spanish or just started exposing myself more to the language was going out and working in Spanish speaking environments. So I have a full-time job, but when I got my full-time job, I also got a second job, and so I worked at a Mexican restaurant, and that helped me so much be exposed to the culture even more. And so I was able to use Spanish at the restaurant. I was able to speak in English and Spanish to customers, of course pronounce, be exposed to the language from the menu, from the cooks. The cooks could only speak Spanish, so I was always communicating to them in Spanish. And then the co-workers were bilingual. Most of them were, well, the co-workers were bilingual for the servers, and so they would always be talking to each other in Spanish, or we would talk to each other in Spanish in front of customers, or just in the restaurant environment, so customers couldn't understand us who only spoke English. So yes, that was really good. And then they invited me out, so I went out to the clubs. I was not a club person at all. I didn't like it. I did not like the environment at all, but I started getting used to it when I had friends who I could go out with, who I could trust, and then I ended up liking it because I just went out to dance. I did not go out to drink or anything. I just got to dance. It was really fun to have somewhere to go every weekend and get all dressed up and pretty and then dance, and I love to dance, as you know. And so yes, I became a party goer, but not for the reasons that you would think. So I ended up meeting more friends, talking to different people in Spanish, and being more and more and more exposed to the community, because then I also started going to the community events, the festivals, everything, other restaurants, just meeting more people, being exposed to more people, and also different people from different countries. So there are a lot of people from Honduras where I live, and I was basically learning Spanish from Mexico a lot more than other countries. So I was using Mexican slang words And then I started dating my boyfriend who's from Colombia, and so then my words just started changing to Colombian words. But I really miss being able to speak Mexican words, but they just don't come as naturally anymore because so hablo como todo natural. Force anything, I don't like to force anything. So my accents, the words that I use, everything is natural. Yay. Okay, so let's see what else I have to talk about. Definitely make Spanish your daily life. It's not a chore. Just integrate it into your life. And I promise you, it'll be so much fun and your life will change. Anyway, definitely make sure to comment below if you are learning Spanish, where you are in your process learning it, if you like to dance too, and tell me what platform you're from. Instagram, TikTok, passes. Follow my passes. Let me know if you know me in person. Oh my gosh. And give me a subscribe. I can't believe I'm starting my YouTube channel. That's so exciting. I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel. Ever since I was little, I wanted to start a YouTube channel. So now I'm finally doing it and honestly emocionada. Gracias por venir a mi canal. Ya nos vemos por mis redes sociales porque yo subo contenido todos los días. So catch me on Instagram and TikTok because I'm always posting new content. Literally every day I'm posting something. Oh my gosh, my baby's moving. We're good. I need to end this video so I can edit it and then post it. Yay! Okay, I was just doing some thumbnails. Okay, bye! See you next time.